guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
They score! WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Middle of the day Wednesday, temperatures in the 60s with highs later this afternoon in the low 70s. Isolated rain showers possible this evening. Overnight, we're mostly cloudy and breezy, cooler heading into Thursday. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company. Where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today is down 495 points to 42,954. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
O'Connell with 1 second, left wing three on the way, banks it in! He got it! I don't believe it!
Jeremy backs out, has Roberts on him into the paint, rises up, big time!
Young throws, he's got Tommy, near side 2-1, touchdown Carolina!
To Ryan, catch and shoot three, right wing, he did it again! Ryan has 27!
Anderson makes a save, and it's kept out by Martin! What a save! Martin just robbed Lindgren!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have to have some real honest conversations about UNC basketball. So Tar Heel fans, just mentally and emotionally steel yourself over real quick. While you do that, I'll let you know that we have a short show today. We'll be bowing out at about 5 o'clock, making way for bowl games. JMU, Western Kentucky, Boca Raton Bowl, right here, 99.9 The Fan. And then Cal, which is, of course, an ACC representative, Cal against UNLV in the LA Bowl presented by Gronk. We'll be following the Boca Raton Bowl.
Presented by Gronk.
Did that whole thing sounds like a Mad Lib. Cal, UNLV, ACC representative, LA Bowl presented by Gronk, following the Boca Raton Bowl. That's coming up here today. We also, despite only having 2 hours of show, we have 2 Canesmas giveaways presented by Hardy. So we'll have 2 drawings at some point, 1 in each hour for Canesmas giveaways. So if you want some awesome Canes gear, it's all presented by Hardy's. If you want some awesome Canes prizes, be sure to stick around. Hopefully that little bit of programming news and notes gave UNC fans enough time to prepare themselves, sit down, find a seated area if they need to. UNC men's basketball is officially in trouble. We've been flirting with this idea for a while, talking about, well, if they don't this, that, the third, if this doesn't click, they could be in trouble. It's trouble time. It's trouble time. Lost to number 7 Florida last night. Final score makes it look a little respectable. It's how it happened that makes the alarm bell sound. And pairing it with the fact that they haven't had a power conference, non-conference victory this season. Now, I do have to give one of our sales guys, Chad, the shout-out. I, for most of yesterday, made it sound like they have not beaten absolutely anyone in their non-conference schedule. They did beat Dayton in the opening round of the Maui Invitational. Dayton has since worked their way up to the top 25.
They just beat Marquette this past Saturday. It was a top 10 team.
Yep, and it was a very close game. They have Cincinnati coming up. Chad's a big Dayton fan. We did the breakdown. So they have a non-power conference, a mid-major but nice non-conference win. Again, if you look at that one, it's different.
Still a good win.
They were behind by a bunch, had to storm back, kind of their MO. And actually, I'll even say this. If they won last night against Florida, I still think I'd be saying if it looked the exact same, but they grabbed one of those 2 rebounds and made a couple free throws in the final 2 minutes, which they didn't do. They went 0 for 4 and let Florida get a bunch of offensive rebounds. But if they won that game, I still think the way it happened would have been close to sounding alarm bells. First, let's hear from Hubert Davis, the head coach, on why, or maybe not being sure why, the team is struggling.
I can't explain. To play with that type of energy and effort in the second half and not have that consistently in the first half or for an entire game is something that's been the consistent theme for us. Or it's not sustainable.
Can't explain it. Well, that's not good. If you have a problem and you don't know what the problem is, you got a bigger problem. Last night, to be honest with you, had some good. They got down big early, started like I don't know, overcooked spaghetti, just. Then they stormed back, right? Made the comeback, made it close, took the lead late. R.J. Davis was much more efficient as a scorer and scored a bunch of points, which was nice to see. They defended, I believe, well for the most part, at least decent. Got out-rebounded, but that should be expected when there's times out there your tallest guy is 6'6", probably 6'5", but listed at 6'6". It wasn't all bad. There was some good, but they couldn't shoot. They still cannot shoot the darn 3. And if they can't do that, none of that other stuff matters. If they can't do that, even if like you were able to steal a win against Florida because you got to the free throw line a boatload of times, or because you had the ball bounce your way during a dramatic comeback, if they can't shoot, none of it matters. You have this. You have the understanding that you can be undersized and still be a good team. Right? You don't necessarily need, twin 7-footers in the post to be a good team. You can be undersized where you're either skinny or not tall, right? Everybody out there, and still be a good team. A lot of us predicted they would be a good team despite being undersized. You can also struggle shooting the 3 and still be a good team. Right? We've seen teams that are like, hey, we'll shoot it if it's wide open. Other than that, we're going to get it into the paint. We're going to run. We're going to look for layups. We're going to try to get to the free throw line. We're going to push it to the bucket. We're going to attack the rim. You can be a struggling three-point shooting team and still be a good team. You can't be undersized and struggle shooting the 3 and still be a good team. And that's where you need to focus if you're UNC. Because they didn't execute down the stretch, right? They didn't rebound when they needed to, and there were some pretty bad ones, right? If a guard just got in the way of somebody who had to run 25 feet to get a rebound, probably is a different, at least sequence of possession at the end of the game. I believe that was Elliot Cadeau. If they made free throws, it's a different sequence of events down the final moments. They didn't execute down the stretch, but it doesn't matter. Right? If you do those things, you might have won that game. But it wouldn't have been sustainable if you can't at least, I'm not asking for 42% from 3. You don't have to be a bunch of, you have to have a lineup of Kyle Korver and Steph Curry and JJ Redick. Yeah. Like, you don't need that. I just need 34%. It feels like a long time that they took a 3 that felt like it was going in. Every single time it's like, if it does go in, right? Oh, look at that.
You don't know how bad it is?
I do.
R.J. Davis was 3 of 11 from 3 yesterday, 27%. That boosted his season average.
I mean, the team shot, 17, 18%?
Yeah.
5 of 28, whatever that comes out to. Think about that. You lost a game by essentially one possession. I know the final score ended up being 6, but it was essentially one possession. And you went 5 of 28 from 3. You can do a whole lot of good. If that team doesn't shoot the ball better from three, it's an issue. And it's funny how, like, throughout the entire beginning of this season, it's like our concern for this has grown. It started with like, wow, that's weird. RJ Davis isn't shooting well to start the season. Then it was like, you know what? I think only the freshmen are shooting at like halfway decent from three. And then it's like, Elliot Cadeau is, he showed signs of life shooting from three earlier, but he's gone kind of cold. And then it became, I don't know if anyone's shooting well. And then it's, if they don't shoot well, what happens? Right? It was one step at a time. You're over a third of the way through the season now. You're 11 games, or you're almost exactly a third of the way of the season. You're 11 games into what I think was a 34, if I counted correctly a couple weeks ago, 34-game regular season. You're like right there at a third of the way. And there's really no signs of changing. And here's the kicker. Here's why the alarm is sounding. They're not necessarily bad shots, right? It's not like every shot is a fadeaway with the hand in your face, right? Like an RJ Davis off a dribble screen pull-up. Well, you're RJ Davis. You're the defending ACC Player of the Year. You knock down those shots. Seth Trimble isn't taking super high degree of difficulty threes. If he's taking the three, it's because there's a kick out, he caught it, and he has the time and space to launch. And they're just not going in. They're just not going in. It's not one game, right? It's not a tiny sample size. It's an undersized team that is not making up the difference from three. And you brought it up. Like, R.J. Davis had a good day. I don't think you can ask R.J. Davis to score more than 29 points on 19 shots. He shot above 50% from the field. He shot scored 29 points. That's a good day. 3 of 11 from three is not as great a day, but that just shows you how good he was when attacking. Also had 8 rebounds. Also had 7 rebounds for Seth Trimble. Those guys can't be your leading rebounders considering they're, 6 foot and 6'3" guards. There's a lot to worry about here. Hubert Davis has to start trying some solutions. Right? It's past the point of, we have a plan from the preseason. We don't want to bail on it too early. We don't want to panic. It's to the point where it's like, you better fix things because you have UCLA next. One more tune-up game, then the ACC schedule. Like making the NCAA tournament officially on notice. And that's absurd to say for UNC 11 games into a season, but you have to say it. What was it? It was Denny Green, right? You are what your record says you are. You're 6-5 and you're shooting the three horrendously. You are what your record says you are. Let's see what they are in the season. I've been looking at individual games. From three this season, they are shooting 31%. It's actually better than I would have expected. Eye test does not say they're shooting that well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. UNC, worry, alarm, sounded. Wake Forest, worry alarm, maybe take it off, at least on the football side of things. Dave Clawson retired. I like the hire. It was announced earlier today. I'll tell you who it is coming up next.
Keep pounding. Panther Talk. Panthers Playbook. The Paw Print. Follow your Carolina Panthers all season with us.
Bryce throws deep downfield.
He's open.
Coker wide open. He's got the 45. He's got midfield. Down the right sideline. Nobody to beat. Jalen Coker, 83 yards for the score.
Your home for complete Carolina Panthers coverage. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club Aromatherapy Room. Our first scent is the essence of this month's scratch-offs.
I'm getting notes of anticipation mingled with cold hard cash.
Anyone else?
Oh, is that tilapia? Sorry, that's my lunch.
New Diamond 10X and Lotteria are here. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.99 to 4.23. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And you know, we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of beautiful jewelry and gifts under $500. You can make a piece of our Bailey's collection yours this Christmas. Add a little sparkle with the popular Icon Collection Tiny Diamond Hoops in either white, rose, or yellow gold for $395. For only $250, check out our beautiful Sterling Collection Diamonds by the Yard bracelet. Or select one of our Bailey's perfect layering necklaces. For $325, our Gold Mark Station necklace, or for only $275, our Icon Puffed Heart pendant. We're celebrating over 75 years of making holiday gifting easy. You can shop online at baileybox.com, or we invite you to visit one of our locations in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, and Greenville to see why every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The holidays are just around the corner, so now's the time to shop new deals at Lowe's. Make your home even merrier with up to 50% off select holiday decor clearance. Plus, don't miss our limited time weekly deal drops on items like appliances, tools, grills, and more. There's something for everyone on your list. Count on Lowe's to help you save all season long, because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 12/12 through 12/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Wake Forest football. Jake Dickert, head coach. Wake Forest hiring Jake Dickert to be their next head football coach. That news breaking earlier today. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, very good job, Wake Forest. I like the hire. Very good job of handling a tough situation. The timing of it wasn't great. It's a very good job by John Curry, the athletic director in that program, handling the resignation of Dave Clawson.
It feels like this was already in process.
Yep.
Based on our conversation we had with Logan Campbell yesterday from WFNY, feels like there was already some stuff in motion before we heard the announcement on Monday.
And they used their behind the scenes well, right? For those of you that didn't tune in yesterday, Logan Campbell, what was it, WFMY up there? WFMY TV sports reporter covers Demon Deacons. Said that Dave Clawson, I don't know if it was a let it slip, but it seemed like he let it slip, that they've been working on finding their next head coach for 10 days. The thing that it kind of shows now that we have the timeline is I believe they told Dave Clawson not to announce it until they knew who the next guy was, and they basically said, we'll announce yours on a Monday, and then on a Wednesday morning we'll announce, like, this was all part of the plan, which I think as long as you have a really good relationship with your head coach, and it's a resignation and they're not going to look for another job, that's a really good way to handle it. Dickert, I think he fits Wake. And I didn't really like, you talk about what you're looking for in a head coach. This is our archetype. These are the traits we're looking for. I didn't see this one for Wake, but as soon as Dickert was named, my first thought was, all right, what do I know about Dickert? Right? What do I know about this coach? He coached Washington State. And I went, wait a second, is that the guy that occasionally says the just reaction deal? Says the way I describe it is he's been open and honest, and if you ask him a question, he's going to answer it. And that doesn't happen very often in college sports. A lot of times coaches, they're a bit like politicians. You ask me a question about the running game, but if I want to hype up a wide receiver, my answer is going to be about my talking point, right? It's like when a politician gets asked about education, all of a sudden they're talking about healthcare. It's like, well, that's what my stump speech is for right now, and I need to trend better in healthcare. If most coaches, it's like, hey, what do you think about the transfer portal? Well, what I think about the transfer portal is we have some great guys that have been they were redshirting last year, and we're really excited about their development. It's like that has nothing to do with what I asked. Jake Dickert, he'll answer you. Hey, what do you think about NIL? What do you think about the transfer portal? What do you think about so-and-so? What do you think about tampering? What do you think about all this? He just gives you an answer. And sometimes it's newsworthy. Sometimes I heard about it here in the Triangle, even though it was said by the Washington State coach over the last 2-3 years. He's 41 years old, but I think that part of his personality is very Dave Clawson-like. Quite honestly, it's very Steve Forbes-like as well, the basketball coach at Wake Forest. You ask those guys a question in kind of an everyman way, they're going to give you their opinion. I think that plays at Wake Forest. I think occasionally that can be the calling card of Wake Forest. You can be talked about in ways that other schools won't be, because your coach isn't afraid to make headlines if they're saying something they believe. From a coaching standpoint, he's done a really good job at Wake Forest as well. At Washington State as well, during a really tough time. Washington State, the thing they're most known for the last 5 years, they were left behind in conference realignment. Everybody left the Pac-12. Washington State and Oregon State were standing around like at a bus stop, and they just missed the bus.
Where'd you guys go?
Yeah.
Hey.
I thought we were meeting here at, oh no, I'm 5 minutes late. Like that kind of deal.
All of a sudden wasn't on the group text anymore.
Yeah. Yet still, his time at Washington State, above 500 this past year, 8-4. This is important because I'm not saying Wake Forest is going to be left behind in that dramatic way, but there's a possibility everybody else is raising $50 million and Wake Forest is trying to get by with 27, and it could feel like, and that's just an example, hypothetical, but it could feel like you're being left behind a little bit, and he'll have to keep them up, keep them together, and succeed anyway. He knows what it's like to look around and go, this looks bleak, but we got to win anyway, and he did it. So that's a nice football fit, like a leadership fit. If there is a concern, I'll tell you what the concern is. His offensive coordinator, a guy by the name of Ben Arbuckle, which sounds like he's a comic book character or something. Ben Arbuckle was just hired by Oklahoma. Well, that's if Washington State was having success and your offensive coordinator is getting hired away by Oklahoma, I assume for a big old raise, there's at least some people out there that attribute the success of that program to the offensive play caller. Dickert did come up as a defensive coordinator, so that side obviously he would take more credit for. Arbuckle led a pretty good offense over the last couple seasons at Washington State, and he took Washington State's quarterback, John Mateer, with him to Oklahoma. Mateer hit the transfer portal. He was the highest-ranked quarterback once Darian Mensah, who went to Duke, came out of the portal. Mateer moved up to the number 1 spot. He then committed to Oklahoma along with his offensive coordinator. So in the 2 years that Arbuckle was at Washington State, it was Cam Ward, and it was Mateer who ended up another one of the top guys in the portal. I'd hope, right, if you hire a coach, this is the craziest way to think about it. When you hire a coach, you probably are hoping that they're able to turn around and take their best players with them in the portal from the place that they went to your school. When Southern Miss hired Huff from Marshall, he turned around and took so many players with him from Marshall that Marshall had to opt out of their bowl game because they couldn't field the team. I'm sure Wake Forest is going, like, there's got to be someone at Washington State that wants to come with you. And at least their highest-ranked transfer already bounced to Oklahoma. So if there is a concern, it would be, is Dickert the same coach without the offensive mind? Other than that, I really like the hire. Other than that, I think it was executed well. I think it was done in a way that honored Dave Clawson enough. Right? We talked with Logan yesterday. She was in attendance for the Dave Clawson exit presser, and I asked her if it was a solemn feeling because one of the best coaches in program history was resigning, and she went, no, it actually felt celebratory. So they did that for a day and a half. Now it's on to the next. Now it's, Dickert, you got to get everything together. And if you ask him about it, he'll tell you about it, which I think fits at Wake Forest. I think it's a personality fit. I think it's a football fit. I think it's a really good hire. Now you just got to go execute, and we'll see, right? As I said with the Bill Belichick deal at UNC, it could blow up in your face. All you can do is make the best, highest ceiling, highest floor, most likely to succeed decision, and then they could still blow up in your face. It's like it's gambling. It's a good bet. Even the good bets don't hit 100% of the time. No matter what everybody tells you, it does not. I promise. I promise. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. I had lunch with Gordon Miller yesterday. I talked about it on the show, and it's really the entire. Every conversation you have about mortgage rates or interest rates with people in the industry, out of the industry, it all comes down to what's going to happen next. Should I get my mortgage now because rates are going to go up and they're never going to come down? Should I wait because rates are going to come down in the next 6 months? And the fact of the matter is you could sit there and play that game. Would feel somewhat like gambling. Or you can call up Miller Lending, get a no closing cost loan. We mean no closing cost. Zero means zero. Absolutely no extra money out of your pocket. No third-party fees. You keep it all right there. And have the ability to, if rates drop in the next 6 months, refinance. No costs and fees. No money out of your pocket. And if rates go up, you can do a little celebration dance that you locked it in when you did, right? Instead of trying to predict, which everybody tries to do, but I don't know if anybody really has that ability, you can be prepared for whatever happens next, be fluid, be flexible, and make it happen, right? So we talked about rates. Oh, they're going to be under 6. They're never going to be under 6 ever again. They're going to be up to 8. Next year, it's going to be 10. Do you remember in the 80s, they were all the way up to 18? We had all those conversations. It's better to just be prepared for whatever happens next. Call Miller Lending to get prepared. 919-447-3377. Ask for a no closing cost loan and ask for more information about it. 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, Canesmas. Happy Canesmas, everybody. Day number 3 of Canesmas. Canesmas, of course, are brand new, but we're establishing it as a recurring tradition. The 5 days of Canesmas, presented by Hardee's, where we are celebrating our connection with our hometown hockey team during the holidays with one of our favorite activities, giving you free stuff. We have $50 gift card to the Canes team store, the I. We have we don't have mini Zambonis anymore.
Both mini Zambonis are off the board.
Hey, it's completely random. We don't get to choose. There's 3-piece grilling sets. There's Canes backpacks. There's Canes Tervis tumblers. There's an awesome set of Canes prizes. If you want to win, you need to be caller number 9 on the Heister Automotive Group hotline right now. 919-860-5326. Call in right now. Caller number 9 will get a random draw out of the Canesmas Santa hat. Canesmas is brought to you by Hardee's, where their famous cinnamon raisin biscuits are back for a limited time and served all day, all season long. The number to call, 919-860-5326. That's right. We're getting caller number 9, a prize. Next.
It's truck season at John Heister Chevrolet, and if you've been waiting for the right deal on a Chevrolet Tahoe High Country, we've got it for you right now. Get yourself a big, beautiful 24 Chevy Tahoe High Country for up to $13,000 off. This incredible deal is for customers with a Costco membership who currently own a 2010 or newer Chevrolet passenger car or truck, or currently leasing a 2019 or newer Chevy passenger car or truck. See dealer details. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay-Varina. Together, let's drive.
Think Santa's got a mixed bag of treats? Soundstation and Security may have him beat. Soundstation and Security has a huge variety of gift ideas for everything audio and automotive. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels, and tires. We even offer full vehicle service, alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. These are great, unique gift ideas. Plus, Soundstation and Security has a variety of financing options. Downtown Smithfield or on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. And online at myhotsound.com.
Experience a Raleigh tradition. Head to Amedio's Italian Restaurant, a family favorite for over 60 years. From weekly specials to their famous homemade recipes, Amedio's uses only the freshest ingredients. Need a touchdown for your tailgate? Amedio's offers delicious takeout, perfect for cheering on the Wolfpack. Or they can host your private party. Amedio's even caters. Amedio's Italian Restaurant, Raleigh's Taste of Italy since 1963. Visit AmediosRestaurant.com for details.
Hi, my name is Lance Corporal Tucker with VMFA 312, out here deployed in Iwakuni, Japan. Just wanted to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody back home. Hope you guys are staying warm and safe out there.
Hi guys, my name is Staff Sergeant Brianna Harris. I'm coming from the Allied Forces South Battalion in Naples, Italy. I just want to give a shout out to my family. Merry Christmas.
Edwards Inc., standing tall and proudly saluting all who have served and those who continue to serve this holiday season.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Maui and Moana, together again.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
This holiday season, if you can watch one movie,
hey, you wanted to come this time.
make sure it's
Moana.
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 Moana. You might want to hold on.
Disney's Moana 2, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing only in theaters. Tickets available now.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
Hey everybody, it's Paul Eihander for Game Day Men's Health. And this is the time of year when I start to think about how to improve myself. And if you're like me, you want to kick off the new year as the best possible version of yourself. And that's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. Experience an incredible transformation with therapy tailored to your body's needs. Feeling sluggish, low libido, difficulty losing weight, and building muscle mass? Game Day has a treatment to help you feel like your best self again. Go to GameDayRaleigh.com today and book your complimentary testosterone test and consultation.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega this holiday season. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, voted best jeweler. Learn more at baileybox.com.
Introducing a product that redefines living well.
Luxury.
Designed to satisfy your wildest desires.
Extravagance.
Overflowing with suspense, dripping with wealth.
Fortune.
The $8 million moneymaker from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With prices that start at $100 and go up to $8 million. Every win's a big win.
Whisper.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Happy Canesmas, everybody. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canesmas is brought to you by Hardee's, where their famous cinnamon raisin biscuits are back for a limited time and served all day, all season long. We're celebrating our connection with our hometown hockey team during the holidays with the 5 days of Canesmas, our December station tradition, by giving you free stuff all week long. I have to correct my verbiage on this. I keep saying we have awesome Canes prizes. They're gifts, not prizes.
We're giving things away.
You don't have to win. You call up and we just draw something and you get it. You don't got to earn this. There's no prize. It's a gift. It's from us to you. And it goes to caller number 9 every time we fire up Canesmas, which we are doing right now. And caller number 9 was James and Wilson.
That's right.
James and Wilson. Happy Canesmas to you.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. It's Canesmas. It's one of the best times of the year. So here's how this is going to work. I have the options here written on slips of paper in a Santa hat. $50 gift card to the Eye. That's the Canes team store. And if you're watching on a YouTube live stream, I'm going to show some of these. A 3-piece Canes grilling set, which I am showing the YouTube audience, which is flat out awesome. You can see it, or you can just imagine an awesome Canes grilling set. We have a Canes backpack and one of the options, and a Canes Tervis tumbler, which I am also holding up, which, I don't know. I could just see Rod Brindamore holding it during a press conference, maybe an early morning before a morning skate type deal. So it's legit. So James, are you ready to find out what you're going to win or what you're going to be gifted?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir.
I'm shaking them up. Go ahead and tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, here we go. It's a good one. I'll tell you that. I feel like I should make you wait for this one because it's one of our better. It's the Canes backpack. The Canes backpack, right. The last of the Canes backpacks.
Let's go.
Goes to James and Wilson. James, you'll be carrying things in Canes style. Happy Canesmas.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
It's a sweet backpack.
It is. Every time we give it away, I sit here saying, oh, I'm jealous, but it's true. Every time we give something away, I'm jealous.
I'd use that backpack for sure.
I use backpack every day. I would love for it to be the Canes backpack. There you go. Happy Canesmas. We will do this again. We have more gifts to give in the second half of the show today. We're only a 2-hour show, so sometime in the 4 o'clock hour, we'll be giving away another Canesmas prize. Canesmas is brought to you by Hardee's, where our famous cinnamon raisin biscuits are back for a limited time and served all day long. Happy Canesmas to James and happy Canesmas to you all.
So we've given away 2 Zambonis, too many Zambonis so far.
We are halfway through Canesmas.
Both backpacks are gone.
And
we've given away one tumbler. So both grill sets are available.
Both grill sets, both $50 gift cards to the Eye, and one Tervis tumbler still alive and available.
Nice.
The hard part is I'm like, oh, the best things are gone. But then I'm like, you know what? I might want the $50 gift card more than the 2 that are gone. The grill set, I'm big into grilling. There's a lot of things going on there. So you're going to want to pay attention to the 4 o'clock hour. All right, let's move on from Canesmas for the moment. And let's look at the Dean's List for the moment. Let's be positive. Let's highlight some college sports newsmakers and let's single them out for their accomplishments on the Dean's List. Can we sound the horn, put class in session, or sound the bell, not the horn? I got Canes on my mind. Sound the horn. Sound the siren. Can we sound the bell and put class in session for the Dean's List? There it is. I've got 3 Dean's List members for today, and I'll tease it. We have our first 3 times Dean's Lister. First 3-time Dean's Lister. Starting with Wake Forest played last night. We're a little squeezed for time today. It's a short show. I don't know how much we're going to get to talk about Wake, but this guy deserves to be singled out. They played JMU. They got a nice, comfy win. Hunter Salas had 27, 12, and 5.
This is my shocked face.
Well, the thing, ironically, right, because Hunter Salas was also a candidate, depending on where you looked, an All-ACC preseason guy, depending on which list, as was obviously R.J. Davis at UNC. Hunter Salas is kind of having the trajectory that you assume a preseason All-ACC guy would have if you start a little slow, right? Salas didn't necessarily shoot the lights out at the beginning of the year, but now as the season goes along, it's like, all right, I see how the averages are pulling up. He's playing better. He's having big games. R.J. Davis had a big game last night, but there's still some percentage and efficiency things that just aren't really bouncing back. 27, 12, and 5 that's a legit college basketball game. He led Wake Forest in all 3 categories, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. If he does that, you'll hear his name on the on the NBA draft day if he keeps putting up stat lines like that. So without us being able to focus on Wake Forest basketball for too long today, I wanted to make sure Hunter Salas got his due. He ends up on the Dean's List. Dennis, do you have a Dean's Lister you want to put on the list?
Can't say I do.
All right, perfect. We move to our next 3-time Dean's Lister. It's Isaiah Evans.
I knew this was going to pop up on yours.
He did it again. The guy, Isaiah Evans, is a bench player for Duke, 5-star freshman who's, he can be described as one of the other 5-star freshmen on Duke because Cooper Flagg, Con Knipple, and Common Malawash play so much. Isaiah Evans is going to work his way into that rotation whether John Shire wants it or not. Every time he gets an opportunity, he makes something of it.
I'm used to being a flamethrower. I'm just happy I can contribute.
I'm used to being a flamethrower. To say that non-ironically and just have everybody go, he's kind of proving it. He's the ultimate, if he gets in the game, he could be, he was 0 for 2 in the first half yesterday. Didn't play a ton. In the second half, if I'm the opposing team, they're playing George Mason, I'm taking one of my best defenders and I'm saying just deny him the ball. Just everywhere he goes, just deny him the ball. Because as soon as he makes one, it's like, oh, great. He's going to hit 4 more. He's done it a few times last night. 0 for 2 in the first half. Then he has this 5-minute stretch in the second half where he hits 3 threes. It's just once one goes in, the onslaught's happening. Cooper Flagg, who's not the other 5-star freshman, he's the 5-star freshman for Duke. After the game, he was asked what Isaiah Evans provides for their squad. This is what he said.
He just opens up the floor so well with his ability to just come off screen, set his feet, and knock down shots. So he's such a skilled player in that way. He can do so much. He can really drive it, shoot it, and his defense has come along really well this year for us. So for him just to be able to come in and be confident, knock down shots is huge.
And there are some other players on the team that aren't knocking down threes at the level you would expect. Con Knipple went 0 for 4 last night. If Isaiah Evans is the one making it, it is quintessential that Cooper Flagg and Tyrese Proctor have spacers around them so they can have the lanes to cut to the bucket and use their athleticism and use their vision if you're Tyrese Proctor on kickouts and things. If it's Isaiah Evans, you got to play him more. You got to play him more. Last Dean's Lister, and this is ironic because it's somebody that is deciding to leave college, Omarion Hampton. Do what is best for you and turn pro. The reason why you make the Dean's List is because I'm sure there was some temptation to get caught staring at the Super Bowl rings. I'm sure there was some temptation to be like, Bill Belichick could probably wrangle up some NIL money for me. Probably could, polish off my pro resume here.
And let me get a cut of that revenue share.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a little bit of temptation. But for a player like Hampton, it's really not about how much he's going to make next year. It's about how quickly he can get to his second contract in the NFL. Because running backs, they essentially, in the eyes of GMs, get old at 27 years old, 28 years old. So if he can get to that next contract faster, that's good. And for life-changing money, I'm sure it won't feel like it at the time. Might be better to go second round or later because you don't get that extra year of control for the fifth-year option that first-rounders get. If you're a running back going pick 33, as long as you live up to the hype, right? There's less security and stability early. But if you go pick 33, that might be best option for career earnings because you just want as many bites at the apple in free agency or potential free agency as possible. So he didn't get distracted by Bill Belichick on campus. And Bill Belichick's going to stay friends with them, right? Hey, if you're going to be a Pro Bowl running back, if you're going to go run for a bunch, we want you at the spring game. Right? You need those guys. So there you go. That's the Dean's List. Hilarious entrance to the Dean's List. The guy that is leaving school early. So that's why it's just a metaphor. It's not actually an academic award. And he might have graduated. I don't know his academic progress. Summer school, winter sessions, that sort of thing. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If there were a Dean's List for professional athletes, I'd be throwing Andrei Svechnikov and Pyotr Kochetkov on there. Shout out to the Canes in general, but more specifically Svech and Kochetkov for answering a lot of the questions I had for him last night. Svech's first goal, the scoring opening goal, was exactly what I wanted. It was exactly what I asked for during first goal scorer predictions yesterday, right? Because went on. I'm gonna give you the full rundown of this whole narrative. On Friday, I said, who on the Canes is an instigator? Who on the Canes, this actually might have been Monday, who on the Canes is the one that you don't want to play against? Who's the one that's going to physically just be a nuisance? And Dennis said Svetch. He said, well, it's supposed to be Svetch. And then a bunch of people on social media were like, Svetch. And I was like, all right, if it's supposed to be Svetch, let me see it. If he's supposed to be this big physical dude, I need to see it. That first goal was exactly what I want. He's in that little short corner, right? And he actually passes the puck away a few times. But there's like a light bulb that goes off. You can almost see it, right? It's like a comic, like a little bing, where he's like, wait a second. If y'all are going to give me this path to the front of the net and you're not going to put a person, a defender, right to stop me because I'm Svetch, well, I'm just going to go put the train on the tracks. What's the shortest distance from A to B? Straight line, right to the front of the net. And Dennis, I'm going to use the term you used this morning, and he dunked it. Stop pump faking at the three-point line. Stop trying to be cute with a bunch of dribbles. All right, he didn't need to go to his like, double around the back killer cross. He was like, nope, 3 power dribbles, and I'm dunking it. 2 hands, 2 feet. Dunked it. Scored the goal. Set the tone. Exactly what I was looking for from Svetch. And then Pyotr Kochetkov, same deal, right? We actually said this when we were talking about who's going to ignite the team, who's going to ignite the Canes when they go through a lull, right? As you do in an 80-something game season, right? There's going to be stretches where you're like laboring a little bit, right? And you feel like you're out of breath on your first shift. Who's the one that's going to get everybody smiling or angry or out of their own head? And people suggested Pyotr Kochetkov, and I went, well, it can't be him every time. But obviously he has that ability. He did everything he possibly could to spark the team yesterday. And from the obvious to like the intangible. The obvious is when your goalie makes 32 saves and posts a shutout and, in the words of Rod Brindamore, is the best player on the ice. That's obvious. That's going to, right? If a wide receiver catches 200 yards, if a basketball player scores 50 points, everybody's going to be ignited by that. Shout out to Pyotr for the production. After the game, he was asked if he thinks about the shutouts when he has a chance for them in the final minutes, and obviously pertaining to last night, this is what Pyotr said.
I try and not think about this, when 7 minutes and for the last period, I think, okay, I have a couple ideas about this. I think, okay, just stay in net, relax, do your job, and because sometimes I have a couple moments this season when I think about shutouts. Next shot, goal. Today I just want stay in net. I want just win. I no think about shutout. Yeah, I'm happy. So it's always good for goalie, for team.
The hilarity of that response will become obvious in a second, right? He said he tries not to think about it. He just thinks, stay in the net, do your job. I'll bring up the hilarity and irony of that in a second. So obviously just playing well, right? The basketball player scoring 50, the baseball player hitting 3 home runs, that's going to spark your team. But he was also taking the fight to the Islanders as much as a goalie possibly could. He threw his stick in the air. I'm not making that up. Yeah. He threw his stick in the air.
We asked him about that in the locker room post-game. He goes, I was just reacting, throwing my blocker up, and it was out of my hand.
I thought maybe it slipped. I thought maybe it was but then you go back and watch it, and it his hand kind of accelerates at the end. It looks like he tossed it.
Yeah, well, you can't legally throw your stick like that. So I mean, he was trying to punch his blocker up, and he just slipped down. And he's like, I would probably drop my stick, about 5 times a period. I feel like, but I feel like I've cut back down on that.
You're not legally allowed to set a pick in the NFL too, but. You asked the receiver, I was just running a slant route. I happened to run full speed with my chest up into the linebacker, but that's not what I tried. He's not allowed. Of course, he's going to say it slipped. If you watch it, he threw a stick in the air, and it looks electric. If you are somebody on the team and you watch your goalie doing so much that he's like, hey, let's see if I can snipe this puck out of the air with a aerial attack, that's going to get you out of your own head, out of your whining if you're there, out of your feeling sorry for yourself if you're there. And then later in the game, right? So the funny part is Walt Ruff tweeted out that video, team reporter, and I retweeted it with just the comment, this dude is a wild card. Because he is, and it's awesome, and it's part of the reason why I love Kochetkov. And then later on in the game, he goes flying out of the crease to attack the puck. He's diving onto his stomach like he's sliding into second. He's out in the face-off circle. And again, Walt Ruff tweets out the video, and I tweeted again with, dude's a wild card. Like, it happens. But the hilarity, the irony that I told you I would come back to is – after the game, he said, I don't think about the shutout. I was just thinking stay in the net and do my job. And when you're at the point in the game where you're kind of thinking, it's like, the I don't know, 7th inning, 2 outs, you got a no-hitter going, right? Like when you're to the point where it becomes real, he's thinking stay in the net, and somehow he's flopping around out at the face-off circle. I guess he wasn't listening to his internal monologue there. He was going against it because dude's a wild card. Now, in some games, and actually I would say most games, try to rein in that wild card stuff, right? In most games, I don't think there's a need for you to be taking the chance that you did so far out of the crease. I don't think there's a need for you to be, risking the penalty of being called for throwing your stick. I don't think you need to do that often. But if you become the type of player that is observant enough, perceptive enough to know when your team needs that jolt of energy, and you have your A game, so you can afford the risk, right? If this goes horrendously, I'm locked in. It's not going to be an issue, right? I can scramble back and make the play, or if I give up a cheapie, I will make sure, and I'm confident I will not give up anything else the rest of the night because I'm locked and loaded. Then you can do it. I equate what Pyotr Kochetkov did last night a bit to and this is different sports, I get it, but I love a cross-sport analogy. There's one clip of Tom Brady where he is scrambling forward, running for a first down, and he doesn't slide. He kind of tries to lower the boom, and he gets the first, and he stands up with the big first down sign, and he's really jacked up, and everybody's fired up. Like, coaches will hate Tom Brady if he's suscepting himself or putting himself vulnerable to hits very often, right? If he's making himself susceptible to injury, Bill Belichick, UNC's coach, would have snapped at him. But being one of the greatest athletes of all time and being somebody that understood his team, you could tell right there he was like, I don't know if this first down is that important. I don't know if we would pick it up on the next play. I don't know what the next play call would be, but I know my team needs to get fired up right now. And the last thing they expect is me to tuck it and run and my 5'1" 40 to go flying downfield, striding it out, and lower my shoulder against a defender. And when I do that, you know that Edelman's going to get fired up, right? You know that Matt Light is going to be ready to tear someone's head off. You know the defensive players are on the sideline watching that going, well, shoot, if Tom Brady's lowering the boom, I can bring a little extra juice. That, to me, is what Pyotr Kochetkov did last night. It's not something that you want in your arsenal every game. It's not something that you want him pulling off in normal situations. But going into that game last night, they needed energy. They needed edge. They needed sandpaper. How in the world can you be on the bench watching that and go, Pyotr Kochetkov has got a gem going right now, right? He has just a great game going right now. And he's still flying 100 miles an hour out of the net trying to get a poke check off his stomach. Yeah, I think I can go a little bit more aggressive on this upcoming PK. Yeah, I think I can give you a little bit more physicality on my next shift, even if it's a short one. How can you not? So, if there were a dean's list for professional athletes, I would put both Svech and Kochetkov on there. They earned it. Now the hard part is, right, because being a leader, being that person is rent due every day. The hard part is you need to be able to do that every time your team needs it. Not every game, right? The Canes aren't going to need a spark every game. Some games they're just going to be good. Some games someone else could spark them. But if your role is to be that ignition switch, you need to sense it and you need to be ready, way more often than not ready. Stay ready so you don't got to get ready. That's what I'm saying about the Canes. But last night was fun. Let's just call a spade a spade. That, I was...
Yeah, that was a heck of a performance.
I was at the Ottawa game when they lost 3-0. So, and it was not as electric in the building. 4-0 is a lot more fun.
Oh yeah.
And more fun here just because we're giving stuff away all day today. Let's go ahead and potentially give away some Nelly, Ja Rule, Eve, and Jermaine Dupri tickets. Text keyword music. Yeah. I don't know if there's a time where I've said that lineup and Dennis hasn't just instinctively been like, great lineup. Let's go. Let's go ahead and text keyword music, MUSIC, to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Nelly with Ja Rule, Eve, and Jermaine Dupri at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on September 13th. So we're looking at next fall. That squad will be coming through. Text music to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win. Dennis, name a Nelly song.
Was it Stomping in My Air Force Ones, right?
There you go. Air Force Ones.
Air Force Ones.
I was going to go EI. I was more
Grammar.
early. I was more early. But then the later stuff,
Country Grammar's a classic.
Exactly. I'm sure he'll play a bunch of them. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back after this for a little football at 4, where I hope to put a debate that has been happening for 2 years completely and finally to rest. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Right now, I want to tell you all about one of my favorite places to shop. It is Bailey's Fine Jewelry, specifically their their Village District location in Raleigh. But even more specifically, it's the Fox and Bailey watch shop located on the right side of the store. Why? Because every time you go in there, there's something new. There's the pre-owned and vintage Rolexes, which obviously are coming and going, and people are looking for their favorites, and you don't know what's going to show up each time you stop in. But also, they are adding new partnerships with different watch brands often. You need to stop in and see the connection they have with Norcane, who's making waves in the watch business. Hamilton, American History. There's G-Shock. If you want something rough and tumble, and I love a G-Shock. I wear them all the time. You probably see it on the show. It's all Bailey's Fine Jewelry right there in Raleigh at their Village District location, their Fox and Bailey watch shop. It is filled with iconic timepieces, perfect holiday gifts for someone special in your life. You can also check them out at baileybox.com. Check out their gift guide and so much more. baileybox.com. Just make sure when you stop in, you let them know you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan from Tim.
John Heister is playing Santa with the Wrap Up the Year sales event at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Now is the time to give yourself a great big present of $20,000 off with dealer discount and incentives. Ho, ho, ho! Put yourself in the driver's seat of any 2024 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 3 right now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. See dealer for all the details. You've been good this year, so get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Homeowners, listen up. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. The Fed has dropped rates again. The election is over, and Loan Pronto has APRs in the low 5s for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans. If your current mortgage rate is over 6% or you are in process with another lender, don't settle. Call Loan Pronto now for a second opinion. Lock in a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. And if you act now, you won't make your first payment till February. This 5-minute call saves homeowners an average of $5,000. Lower rates and lower fees. Get your Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Loan Pronto, call 919-381-1760 or loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Pack family knows Sammy's Tap and Grill is your one-stop shop for brews and bites, serving up good times for almost 25 years. Sammy's has over 40 beers on tap, so you're guaranteed to find your perfect pint. And house-made food that's touchdown-worthy. For the game, Sammy's got you covered with over 60 TVs. Plus, you can bring your own mascot. Sammy's is pet-friendly. Come find your people at Sammy's Tap and Grill on Avon Ferry near campus. Great beer, delicious food, TVs galore, furry friends welcome. Visit Sammy'sTapGrill.com for daily specials and beer lists.
Drive-through car washes are quick, but a mobile detailer gets to the nitty-gritty. Autobell Car Wash is the sweet spot between both. We quickly clean your car from the inside out to save you time. Get the app at Autobell.com.
Welcome to the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club Aromatherapy Room. Our first scent is the essence of this month's scratch-offs.
I'm getting notes of anticipation mingled with cold hard cash.
Anyone else? Oh, is that tilapia?
Sorry, that's my lunch.
New Diamond 10X and Lotteria are here. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.99 to 4.23. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey friends, Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. Make your first NBA bet a swish with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from who will win the game to how many points a player will score. Check out newer bets like the number of dunks, assists, or three-pointers in the next 3 minutes. It doesn't matter if you tap into FanDuel before the game starts or after it's already tipped off. You can pick up a dub whenever. And now is the perfect time to get in on the action. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul and get a chance to score $150 in bonus bets. Have a ball, betting ball with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Midday Wednesday, already warm temperatures in the 60s. As we head into the afternoon, we reach the low 70s, mainly cloudy with isolated rain showers this evening. Overnight, we fall into the low to mid 50s, breezy and cooler by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 1,123 points today to 42,326. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canes Miss is coming up here later in the hour, so keep your dialing fingers ready if you want some sweet Canes gifts that we are giving away all week.
By the way, show ends at 5.
True, because we're making way for the Boca Raton Bowl.
That's right.
Followed up by ACC Cal in the LA Bowl presented by Gronk. So we have a bunch of bowl games coming up, so we'll be dipping out a little early on Wednesday. But we always have time for football at 4. And I'm hoping to put to bed an argument that I've had to argue against, like a consistent wave, like I was some kind of Spartan warrior and there were just Serbians coming over the hill by the 1,000. I think that's what they were in the movie 300 now. Mm-hmm. And that is the Bryce Young should have sat his entire first year. He should have learned. He should have redshirted. And part of my argument that I still think can be debated is it doesn't help you a ton to redshirt. That's part of my argument. That can be debated. We can do that for 1,000 years. But the part that I don't think can be debated is you're asking for something that's impossible. I think he should have sat. I think he should have redshirted for the entire year. It's just not possible, right? That's like saying, I should, I don't even know, like the thing that'll help my back soreness is a shirt made of diamonds. It's like I can't approve or disapprove of that because it's impossible to get a shirt made of diamonds, right? You just can't have a top-ranked, highly drafted quarterback that you spend the resources to draft that high and convince yourself that they won't play as a first year. Kirk Cousins was benched by the Falcons. I hope putting the final nail in the coffin of that argument, confirming that letting your highly drafted quarterback sit and learn on the bench, especially if you're a number 1 overall pick, it's completely impossible. The Falcons, and this is going to sound ludicrous, but it is 100% factual. The Falcons guaranteed Kirk Cousins $90 million 282 days ago. Not even a year ago. 14 regular season games ago, because that happened in the offseason. They played 14 games. They guaranteed him $90 million, about 62 of which will come this season, and 27 and change guaranteed for next season. He lasted 14 games before they moved to Michael Penix. And Michael Penix wasn't a number 1 overall pick. He wasn't the first pick drafted or the first quarterback drafted. He wasn't somebody that you traded multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, a legitimate star player for, like the Panthers did with Bryce Young. And still, and by the way, Andy Dalton, who Bryce Young would have had to sit behind, is not Kirk Cousins. So you had a better quarterback, more highly compensated, more recently compensated, in front of a quarterback who was not as highly drafted, not as invested in. The team is playing better, so they have more to play for. And still, Michael Penix is starting by the 15th game. If that's how that happens, if that's how that breaks down, there's no way a number 1 overall pick will ever sit an entire rookie year ever again. So the debate we could have is theoretical. It's, would it be better if a player could sit for an entire year or 2 whole years or 3 whole years? Would it be better? We could have that debate. But will it be better? Becomes, oh, no, that's impossible. Right? We can have theoretical discussions, which are always fun. Right? Those have no right and no wrong answer. Although you can get firmly entrenched on one side and you can truly believe it's right. And I am firmly entrenched on one side of that. But it's just not a realistic possibility anymore because, right, I hear you saying like Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, on and on and on, even somebody like Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, outside the top 10, very unlikely, but maybe. Outside the top 20, I would say more likely. Inside the top 10, darn near impossible. First overall, impossible. Impossible. Top 3, impossible. And it's not even their readiness that decides it. It's oftentimes the coach's job security, right? Raheem Morris is out there trying to make sure everybody knows that he knows how to coach. They're a $90 million guaranteed cash scapegoating Kirk Cousins right now. When in actuality, I think a lot of the problem is just give the ball to Bijan Robinson more. You might want to blame Kyle Pitts for not being effective enough at tight end. There are things to blame, but Kirk Cousins is going to be the scapegoat. And now they're going to go into next year with the hype and the hope of the future on. Good thing we drafted Michael Penix. Good thing we got those early career jitters out of the way at the end of last season. Now we have a top 8 pick at wide receiver, a top 8 pick at tight end, a top 8 pick at running back, and a top 8 pick at quarterback. All on their rookie contract going into next year. Look at that hope. Well, the same thing is true for any top player. Your coach is at some point in time going to look around and say, this season isn't going the way we liked. How can I drum up a little bit of excitement? And it's the young quarterback. And if it's a number 1 overall pick, you're probably best setting them up for the most success, which is giving them the preseason reps. Because make no mistake about it, like Penix was probably getting more reps in preseason because of Kirk Cousins' injury, but he was operating with the twos during the week here during the regular season. And now he's being thrown in there and he's going to have to try to perform. If you draft a quarterback early, as a fan base, just prepare for that guy to play. As a franchise, don't draft a quarterback early if you don't think he'll be ready, or if, more importantly, if you think it'll ruin him to play his rookie year, don't draft him there. If there's a quarterback that you're drafting as a project, pick 27, right? Trade back up into the first round at the end, or trade back from where you are to the end of the first round. Hope they show up there. And then you'll get other picks and things to supplement the effectiveness of that draft. But the top 3s, the top 4s, and by the way, I'm talking to Panthers fans because that's who I hear most often from, but like the Anthony Richardson argument, oh, he needed to learn. It's just not possible when you're a top 5 pick. It's just not possible, which is why I was saying with Anthony Richardson, they should run him more. They should use his legs more. Sure, it might open him up to a few more injuries, but at the same time, if his legs can make him successful while the passing game figures it out, that's one way to be successful while the project develops, with the understanding that he's going to play regardless. Jaden Daniels. Remember Jaden Daniels was everybody's rookie of the year through the first 5 games, and he had thrown 1 touchdown pass? It was because when they got down into the red area, the red zone, where windows are smaller, they were like, run it. Till you're confident in what you're seeing, just take off. You're fast. You have to be prepared to play your highly drafted young quarterbacks early. Which is why I think it makes even more sense. It's the holiday season. The Christmas tree analogy I use for quarterbacks. The quarterbacks are the star on top of the tree. Don't go buy the star until you have the tree, the tinsel, the ornaments, the tree stand. You've moved the couch that's where the tree is supposed to be into another part of the room, right? You need the offensive line, the receivers, the play caller. You need all of that before you get the quarterback because they're going to play. That's probably what the Panthers did wrong, right? They didn't have everything ready to play a quarterback as a rookie. They're trying to do that on the fly now that they have him, right? In his first offseason, they went and got all the offensive linemen. Next offseason, hopefully they will get a number 1 wide receiver. They're assembling it after you have the star. I'm not saying superstar star. I'm saying like the analogy star on top of the tree star. We have Canesmas coming up. I'll explain the Canesmas giveaway in a second. But first, Tim Donnelly here for Capital Financial Advisory Group. Get your very own total and customized retirement plan. We know the impact great coaching can have in the sports world. Just talked about it, right? You need to get everything set up. You need to have every base covered. This holds true in the financial arena as well. You want to make sure you're working with someone you trust. You want to make sure you have a great play caller. You want to make sure you have great assistant coaches suggesting things to the play caller. And you need to have that head coach making everything happen. Who can help explain your situation and the solutions that will benefit you in a way you understand? Coach Pete can. Capital Financial Advisory can. Why settle for a boilerplate, one-size-fits-all plan? Coaches in sports don't do that. It's not one game plan that they run out there every single week. No. They look at the opponent. They look at the specific needs. They look at the talent on their own roster, and they create a customized plan. Coach Pete and the fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial does the same for you. They look at the market. They look at the investments. They look at what you have on your side of the finances and what your goals are, and then they plan a complete, totally custom retirement plan. Coach Pete and the fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial can help you build that plan free of charge. All you have to do is say you heard about it from me, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. So give them a call at 800-691-3215. That's 800-691-3215. Or go ahead and text my name if you're more of a texter than a caller. So many of us are. Text Tim, T-I-M, to 600-700. Text Tim to 600-700. Again, the number to call, 800-691-3215. That's for Capital Financial. We have Canesmas coming up. Well, we're in Canesmas. It's the third day of Canesmas.
Yes.
But we're going to give a gift to one of you coming up out of the break. As I've been saying throughout the show, we are still loaded with great gifts.
It's giving things away.
We have $50 gift cards to the Eye. We have 3-piece Canes grilling sets. We have Canes Tervis tumbler. One of you is going to win one of those prizes. All you have to do is call in now, 919-860-5326. Caller number 9 will get a Canesmas gift from us. Canesmas, the 5 days of Canesmas, presented by Hardee's. As we celebrate our connection with the hometown hockey team, don't forget Hardee's, where the famous Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back for a limited time and served all day, all season long. Unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. Happy Canesmas to you all. Caller number 9 gets a gift. Coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Blank check for a coach or a manager. Smalls, where are you going?
I'm going to go in the NFL, and I'm going to go with someone that I think could probably coach in any sport. But if I know that I'm going to give you a blank check, and that means that you can write your future and stay with me forever, because that's basically what we're doing in this hypothetical here, is it not, Mike Tomlin?
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas. But sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Crabtree Valley Mall, and Cary's Fenton. Also in Rocky Mount and Greenville. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Happy Canesmas, everybody. 99.9 The Fan, all week, celebrating the 5 days of Canesmas, our December station tradition presented by Hardee's. You know what we need? We need a Canesmas Carol. Next year, my goal is to have a Canesmas Carol.
Why not by tomorrow?
Because I'm not that musically inclined.
And?
I'm saying I don't have that tool. If you're volunteering, go ahead. I don't have that tool in my tool bag. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm working on the latest rendition of the 12 Days of Tepper.
12 Days of Tepper. I mean, if you have it in you, like I said, I one of the things I don't know why this. I don't even know why this even would ever be like an icebreaker game. Like you're in like a 20-person college class. So let's go around. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? Mine was always like, wish I was more musical. Wish I could hear a note and know what was going on. A little bit more rhythm. So I can't, but we do need a Canesmas Carol. I mean, it's an awesome celebration where we celebrate our connection with the Canes, our hometown hockey team, during the holidays, and we celebrate by giving away free stuff. It's all presented by Hardee's, where their famous cinnamon raisin biscuits are back for a limited time, served all day, all season long. Unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. Before the break on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, we asked for caller number 9, Daniel in Nashville, North Carolina. You are caller number 9. Happy Canesmas to you.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
All right. Some people offer Happy Canesmas back in that situation, but no, it's cool. You can say thank you. That's like when someone says I love you and you say thank you. It's like, all right, man, all right, it's cool. Happy Canesmas. We have gifts for you. Either a $50 gift card to the Eye, a 3-piece Canes grilling set, or a Canes Tervis tumbler are still available. We had mini Zambonis and Canes backpacks, but those have all been gifted already. Daniel, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm shaking them up. I'm putting the hand in the Santa hat here, shuffling it around. Go ahead and tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Let's see what you got. Let me unwrap it. Canes 3-piece grilling set, the first one we've given away. If you're watching on YouTube live stream, I'm holding it up and showing you what that is. It's a pretty sweet little grilling set here. If are you into grilling, Daniel?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Absolutely. Then this is a perfect gift for you. I'm not 100% sure, but if you got creative with the little spatula here, you might be able to like imprint the logo on some meat or something. It's a cool looking logo. So the 3-piece Canes grilling set is yours. Happy Canesmas to you.
Yes, sir. Happy Canes.
There we go. There we go. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you to make sure you get your grilling set. Everyone watching on YouTube, I'm also holding up the Tervis tumbler. We have another one of these to give away. We have $50 Canes store known as the Eye gift cards. And we have another 3-piece grilling set, all available to give away for Canesmas. All week we'll be giving away things for Canesmas. Happy Canesmas to you all, and we need to move on. So let's go ahead and jump into something we call the Ladder Challenge. The Ladder Challenge on this show traditionally is an ongoing month-long competition, but December gets all weird with the holidays and schedules and everything. So we've changed it into a series of single-day competitions between myself and whoever is producing the show at that point in time. I am up 1-0 on Graham, and I am down after yesterday 2-0 to Dennis. We tied yesterday. It rolled over, and Dennis won. Thanks a lot.
Yep, I hit 2 of my bets yesterday.
Now I'm going to rant on Memphis for a second.
Okay, that's fine.
You can be optimistic in a second. I had Memphis -5.5 against West Virginia. They won a shootout by 5. Hate when the hook gets you. Memphis, you're playing a team that didn't even have their head coach. Couldn't win by a touchdown. Duke did cover for me, but it wasn't enough. Dennis, you won 2 of your bets, probably around $20 in winning, something like that, and you won.
Let's see, off UNC Asheville, $10. I ended up getting with the stake coming back was $19.20. And then with the Tampa Bay Lightning winning against the Columbus Blue Jackets, I got $19.80 back. That includes the stake plus winnings. So really, I was up, solid. That's $40 right there.
Well, good for you.
So I was up $10 overall.
Good for you. Luckily, every day is a new deal there. So your lead is now back to 0. The way it works, we each get 3 $10 bets, and whoever wins the most money by the next day is the winner. So it's $10, 3 different bets. I guess you could put them all in the same bet if you wanted to just put all your eggs in one basket.
I mean, that's true.
But diversifying is more fun. You can go ahead and lead off as the defending champ.
Okay. I'm going to go with Cal football, baby. ACC. Let's go. Give me Cal on the money line. The money line plus 130 against UNLV.
You can tell that there's not a ton. There's a lot of sports going on, but as far as gambling opportunities, Tuesday and Wednesday things get a little bit more scarce. Because yesterday, almost every game you bet on, I was like, I have one for that game too. You start with the Cal LA Bowl presented by Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
I have one for that game as well.
Of course.
I'm taking Jaden Ott to score a touchdown. Plus 110 versus UNLV.
All right.
Jaden Ott is a really good player who had a really lackluster season. He got injured early on and just never really got going. He's one of the best players on Cal from a season ago. Running back, he is good. He is smooth athletically. He even when he's not moving fast, he looks like he's moving fast. He's like a Porsche or something like that. When they just look like they're moving when they're parked. He also might be going pro, and he's had 18 days off before the bowl game. So if it really was injuries that was holding him back all year, the 18-day rest, see what he can do healthy, a touchdown or 2, 150 yards might make the NFL go, all right, yep, the lackluster year was because of an injury, and he's back to looking like he did as a sophomore, I believe it was last year. So he's plus 110 to score, so that's $10 to win 21 for the Cal running back against UNLV. Next pick for you.
Memphis basketball, nationally ranked, on the road at UVA. UVA, not very good. Give me Memphis on the money line, minus 192.
There's money lines today.
Yeah, in Charlottesville.
And these next two, I'm going against so much of what I traditionally do on these gambling picks. I normally have like all this analytic reason to pick. I'm going more vibes, more narratives. The Boca Raton Bowl coming up. And the broadcast starts in like 35 minutes here on 99.9 The Fan. Give me JMU, and I'm alternate spreading. I think they're like a 6-point favorite. Give me minus 10. I want a little extra juice. I want a little extra payout there over Western Kentucky. And do you know the reason why? Because I watched JMU against UNC, and they absolutely lit them up offensively.
Boat racing.
And I just have that image in my brain, and I'm going, there's no way Western Kentucky can keep up with a team that scored 70 on the road at an ACC opponent. $10 to win 21-20, including stake, obviously. It's plus 112. Teased it up to get a little extra juice. JMU minus 10.
All right, my final one. Fun hockey game tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs on the road at the Dallas Stars. Give me the Leafs on the money line, plus 114, Tim.
That's fair. Just money lines all over the place.
Yeah. It's the easiest thing you can do. That team wins.
You want to see how down a like off the beaten path I've gotten? Need a machete to come find this bet.
All right.
Men's basketball.
Okay.
College basketball.
All right.
Binghamton.
Yeah.
Alternate spread.
All right.
Minus 10 over Mercyhurst.
Good old upstate New York matchup. Let's go.
Brian Johnson is one of the assistant coaches at Binghamton. He was a point guard at Delaware when I was there. I always saw him working hard, so he's going to have them ready. I don't know a ton about this other than that. I saw it. I had a vibe. I went, you know what? Brian Johnson's going to have them ready to roll. $10 to win 25.54. It's plus 154, obviously including stake. And I am looking forward to my Blue Hen basketball player who's gotten into the coaching world lighting it up and giving us a double-digit victory over Mercyhurst, who I also know nothing about. Down goes Mercyhurst.
I mean, I took UNC Asheville yesterday on a point spread.
Yeah, but you know everything about UNC Asheville. You're a fact book for every college in the state of North Carolina.
Kind of.
I know very little about Binghamton other than one of their assistant coaches. Make it, and it's cold up there, and it's probably hard to recruit. Binghamton. You know what the minor league baseball team in Binghamton is?
No.
The Rumble Ponies.
That's a great name.
You know who spent some time with the Rumble Ponies?
You.
Tim Tebow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's
like single A affiliate?
No clue.
Double A? Doesn't matter.
I've exhausted my fun facts. I had 2 of them. You ask any follow-up questions, it's going to be no clue. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll see who wins the ladder challenge tomorrow. I need to make a little comeback here. Ladder challenge complete. Hit it and quit it. Initiated. Is where we line up the buzziest stories across sports. We hit it, we quit it, we move on to the next. I don't know if you can get more buzzy than this to somebody of like my age group. Michael Vick has accepted the head coaching job at Norfolk State University on their football program. Mike Vick is the head football coach at Norfolk State. Now,
it's wild to think about.
It is wild to think about. Mike Vick was, especially prior to all the legal issues, just an absolute icon to my age group.
Well, likewise for me. I was in high school when he was at Virginia Tech.
That works.
Yeah.
That absolutely works. Norfolk State, from 1,000 yards above, it kind of, I don't know, it makes more sense when you think about it. He's from that area, the Hampton Roads area, so he is going to have an unbelievable amount of cachet walking into any high school in that area trying to keep recruits home. He's also going to have an unbelievable amount of cachet calling recruits from all over the country and trying to get them to go to Norfolk State. But his icon status doesn't burn brighter than anywhere else other than where Norfolk State is. Also, we're seeing this more and more. If you're a school that knows you're not going to be able to keep up with NIL funding or with so many other aspects of the changing college sports world, you can take a risk with your head coaching hire and maybe up your cool factor, your buzz factor with your head coach. Jackson State with Deion Sanders got legitimate 4- and 5-star recruits. Now, not a ton of them, but enough of them that they became a national story. Travis Hunter was the number 1 or number 2 recruit in the country and went to Jackson State to play for Deion Sanders. I'm not saying Michael Vick's going to have that, and I'm also not saying Norfolk State is Jackson State. They're a different beast entirely. But Michael Vick has an opportunity to do something kind of buzzworthy there, especially if they have success early. Do you know what is going to be the hardest part for Mike Vick? And I say this about most players that turn into coaches, especially the all-time physical athletic greats.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard when you're like, oh, if this happens, you see the guy behind you without looking at him and you spin out and then you run to the edge, you get the edge, you cut back. When you get this look, you make the 2 guys miss and you fly up the middle and you run for a first down. And there's going to be some 19-year-old that runs a 4.8 40 going like, Coach, I can't do that.
And Michael Vick's like, just run past that guy. Like, I can't.
You just on the run, throw a 40-yard rope. Right? You had this is the open guy. This is where the ball has to go. Yeah, Coach, I can't do that. I don't know what you want. You have to pretend you're me in this scenario. Then what are you doing?
Think again.
Obviously Deion has been able to make it work, but also he kind of found the one corner that he'd be able to do that with. Right? Hey, just be better than everybody athletically. Travis Hunter's like, okay, cool. So I guess if Michael Vick finds a quarterback that runs a 4.3, his advice would be applicable.
That won't work.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
You like that? You like that?
Oh, with the season coming to an end, Tim, in the NFL, it is mock draft season already. Mock draft season has begun, and we're not even done with the end of the current season. We're already looking at mock drafts for 2025, and I think we have a pretty good feeling of where the Carolina Panthers are going to be drafting, probably somewhere in that 3 to 6, 3 to 7 range. A lot of good players are going to be sitting right there in that 3 to 6, 3 to 7 range. But now there's always a conversation of already happening. Should they trade back?
First of all, the answer is always on should they actually, you know what? You've stumbled into one of my pet peeves.
What's that?
You know me. I love mock draft season.
I know you do.
I don't think it should be
I think you're on your 27 draft already.
I don't think it should be mock draft season yet. There are some players in the 2020. Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams.
See, exactly.
The quarterback Lagway from Florida. We could get into the 2027 draft if you want to. 2026, Sellers, the quarterback from South Carolina, monster. Anyway, I love mock draft season. I don't think it should be there yet. I think it should be big board season now.
Yes.
Just put the players in how valuable you think they are on a list. Mock drafts, you don't know the order yet. Teams, like if the Panthers win, how many games do they have left? You got to do 17 games. 3. If they win 2 or 3 of those games, it's a completely different pick.
Drastically changes things.
The other thing is, I hate seeing people predict like trades at this point in time.
Yeah.
You don't know, like if a guy has, Rico Dowdle, right? That running back for the Cowboys just ran for 100-something yards against the Panthers. He has 3 straight 100-yard games, right? So you can change your value a ton in 3 games. And there's 3 games left to play, not to mention the playoffs. So, I'm not really mock draft season yet. Big board season, though, we can talk about, right? You have the entire regular season of college football done. You can watch film. You can set all of your, expectations for players based on their ability, based on their film for college. And I think that's a fun game to play right now. But I'm not in on mock draft yet.
But yeah, it's full on mock draft season. I know this just following what a lot of Carolina Panthers fans are looking at and saying, hey, well, if you're at 3, depending on who's above you, you might have to move. A team might from 5 wants to move up to draft a quarterback. It's like, okay, well, if you go from 3 to 5 and I can get a little extra, I'm still going to get a stud player at 5. Absolutely, I'll probably move back.
I can tell you the names that most Panthers mock drafters are putting there. Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State.
Yep.
Especially if you're in the top 5, that seems to be where mock drafters are putting the Panthers. If you're maybe a little bit further, hoping for somebody like Tairoa McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona. If you go back a little bit further, they're still looking wide receiver like Luther Burden if you're further down.
Sure.
From Missouri. And then again, it's a deep edge rusher draft. If you trade down from wherever you are, top 8, 9, wherever amongst there, down into the teens, down into the 20s, I think you could still get a solid edge rusher or a solid tackle if you need one, if you're moving on from Moton, which would be expensive. Wide receivers, probably not super deep. Some running backs, very late, but you don't need those. Mock draft season. Season hasn't even gotten close to the end, let alone playoffs. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Got him!
It's been the irony is, talking NC State football at the end of their regular season, I started calling it the off-season of change because I thought there would be a demand for change. Like you can't have those expectations, finish as close to barely being bowl eligible as possible, and not have the powers that be, the fan base going, you better change something. So I started calling it the off-season of change. I should have called it the off-season of change for coaches in the state of North Carolina, everywhere but NC State. FBS coaches in North Carolina, it is a carousel.
5 of 7.
5 of 7, and outside of Doran, like Manny Diaz, it was last offseason. So, and he did great. Don't worry. I don't think he's on the hot seat. But I'm just saying it's not like that's the most stable situation in the world. They've had 3 coaches or 2 coaches, not 3 coaches the last 4 years, which says a lot. So let's go ahead and what is it? Just a pure carousel, and you coaches aren't loyal, programs aren't loyal, players aren't loyal. Let's make sure we keep everybody accountable. If a transfer leaves and you're somebody screaming about how they're not loyal, let's make sure we know that coaches and / programs also aren't always the most loyal.
It's amazing the amount of turnover we've seen in recent years when it comes to coaches in the state of North Carolina. If you look at both football, men's basketball, just the turnover that we've seen. You mentioned Dave Doran. It's almost like he's like the last guy when you really think about it, because David Cutcliffe was here for a long, long time. Scott Satterfield was at App State for a long, long time. Eli Drinkwitz was there for a year, but then Sean Clark was there for like 5 seasons as well. it's been such a high turnover. Dave Clawson was there for literally 1 year less than what Dave Doran has been. So the turnover has just been constant over the last few years. Gosh, I mean, look at men's basketball. Roy Williams and Coach K are also all gone.
They had some longevity.
They did. It really is a new era of sports in the state of North Carolina that we've entered into.
Keats and Doran are kind of the like, hey, at least for the power conference, they're like, hey, we've been around a long time compared to everybody else.
Mac came back.
Mac came back. That's true. Is it like a relationship where if you break up and get back together, you pick up where you like? If you date for 2 years and you break up for 6 months, you get back together. It's not like you've been together for a month. You've been together for 2 years and a month.
Sure.
So does it all total? Is it 10-year combined, 80s, 90s, and today?
Yeah, why not?
Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
We got better tonight.
Everyone, speaking of Coach K, everyone's weighing in on Bill Belichick being the head coach of the University of North Carolina, Tim, including the one great Coach K, who had this to say on his Sirius XM radio show.
He's a coach's coach and a straight shooter, and I really not just like him, I respect the heck out of him. And I know he's going to be the Carolina coach. I'm still going to like him and respect but it's going to initially in this next month, transfer portal and everything, what's going to happen? Is there going to be some kind of bombshells that occur? What's the impact? Like you said, it's incredibly interesting, right?
It is.
Do you know what is interesting? And I agree with everything Coach K just said there. And everyone's waiting for the bombshell out of the transfer portal for Bill Belichick, which I still think might be coming. There's some rumors that like a Quinn Ewers, right? And that's just rumors. Do you know what I'm coming to realize? Do you know what Bill Belichick was kind of known for with New England? Like the surprise overdraft. Somebody who most people on their draft board had as like a late second rounder, he would take at the end of the first. Somebody who most had as a fourth rounder, he could take as a second because he was so self-confident in his evaluations. And I think we're seeing more of that. I think he's getting who he wants out of the portal, but it's just not who like 247 Sports or Rivals.com thinks are the best transfers. We talked about it yesterday. He took a Delaware Blue Hen. He grabbed a guy from Holy Cross. There's one that is expected, I believe, from ECU to visit UNC, who decommitted from Wake Forest with the Dave Clawson news. I think he's getting guys that he's like, they're missing it here. Let me show you, which is an interesting way to think about it. Like, you know, we all think we're smarter than everybody else, right? Bill Belichick probably has more reason to think it than the rest of us. He's like, this is a 3-star guy? I'll show you. Rankers. I can't imagine. Do you know what actually will probably be like the thing he hates the most? Stars, meaning like
star ratings.
Recruiting rankings. Mm-hmm. Oh, this guy's a 4-star? I watched his film. It's going to be hilarious. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a short show today. So we're going to wrap things up at the top of the hour. What that means is we got to break down Duke basketball from yesterday. They beat George Mason. Was there a red flag, though, that popped up? Or what's like a pink flag? Not quite red, but a little concerning? I'd say there was one of those flags for Duke last night. I'll tell you what, next.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning diamond pendant, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect gemstone piece or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have hundreds of styles that are ready to be wrapped and put under the tree. No need to wait for shipping. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas before you head to the store, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
99.9 The Fan, Carolina Ale House, and me, Victoria Votenecker, want to get you to a Canes game. Join me this Friday night at the Carolina Ale House in Briar Creek from 7 to 9. Sign up for your shot to grab a pair of tickets to the January 5th Canes-Penguins game. I guarantee 30 people will be able to get into the game on us once the night is done. While you're there, grab a drink. They have specials every day of the week. To win, you got to come hang out with me, so set the reminder. Carolina Ale House at Briar Creek Friday night with me and 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
My name is Private Reborn. I'm with 157. We're currently in Finland, and I would like to give a huge holiday shout out to Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's my hometown. My mom, my grandma, my sisters, my homeboys, of course.
Edwards Inc., standing tall and proudly saluting all who have served and those who continue to serve this holiday season.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan silver dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value and free shipping. Call 1-800-222-3967 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan Silver Dollar bars. That's 1-800-222-3967.
Introducing a product that redefines living well.
Luxury.
Designed to satisfy your wildest desires.
Extravagance.
Overflowing with suspense, dripping with wealth.
Fortune.
The $8 million moneymaker from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With prices that start at $100 and go up to $8 million. Every win's a big win.
Whisper.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Act fast for up to $7,500 off a 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 Denali right now at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford. Plus 5.9% financing for 84 months. Includes GM bonus cash and Wilkinson winter savings discount. Must qualify to receive rate and take delivery by January 2nd, 2025. See dealer for full details. GMC. We are professional grade. Hurry to Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford or online at wilkinsoncars.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, 99.9 The Fan, Carolina Ale House. Victoria Vodenecker produces the Adam Gold Show immediately before this one. Although, not today, because Dennis is pulling double duty. They want you to go to a Canes game. What a selfless want this holiday season. Join Victoria this Friday at the Carolina Ale House in Briar Creek from 7 to 9 p.m. All you have to do is show up and sign up, and you'll have a shot to grab a pair of tickets to the January 5th Canes-Penguins game. But here's the best part. You don't just have one shot at a pair of tickets. You have 20, at least 20 shots at a pair of tickets. We guarantee 20 people will be able to take a friend to the game once this is done. That means you get a pair of tickets. While you're there, right, from 7 to 9 and beyond, grab a drink. Carolina Ale House has specials every day of the week. You must be present to win. So go ahead and set that reminder. Carolina Ale House at Briar Creek, Friday night. That's this Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. with Victoria and 99.9 The Fan. That is the Triangle Sports Leader for a Canes ticket stop. We'll be giving away tickets. It's awesome. It's a great vibe. It's a good time. You should go to a game on us. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As we transition to basketball, Duke basketball beat George Mason last night. That's not news. We talked about it during the break. There is something that we've come up with that is better as a lesser than a red flag, right? Red flag would be like, ooh, concern. Something lesser than that, I spitballed before the break as a pink flag, just something where like the water or the color had run a little bit.
Yeah, toned down a little bit.
And Dennis went, that should have been a yellow caution flag. And I went, you know what? That's a much better idea.
Yeah.
So a yellow caution flag that popped up during the George Mason game. And it's something that I've noticed a few times. I've said on air a few times. There might be a bit of an overdependence on Cooper Flagg. Which it's a caution flag because if you're going to depend on somebody, the number one recruit, overwhelming favorite to be the next number one draft pick, is a good one to be like overly dependent on, right? Is, our pass game isn't great, so we have to lean on the run a lot, but we're the Philadelphia Eagles and we have the number one run blocking offense in Saquon Barkley. It's like, you know what? If you're going to have to be overly dependent on your run game, fine. And from, a surface level, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Flagg last night had 24, 9, and 4 with 3 steals and a block. That's 24 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Depend on that guy all you want. But the thing that kind of jumped out to me, he was 7 for 20 shooting. Now, I don't mind a shooter shooting, right? I don't mind, hey, if I'm cold, I'm going to shoot my way out of this. I don't mind that. The issue I have is they only took 56 shots as a team. He took over 35% of their team's shots to get those 24 points. If there's a night where he's just off, keep shooting to confirm you're off. But then if there's a point, like turn around and go, hey, we got other guys to score. We got all these 5 stars around me. We brought back Tyrese Proctor and Caleb Foster for a reason. We went to the transfer portal to these guys for a reason. Con Knipple was 0 for 4 from 3. Common Malawash scored 6 points on 6 free throws, 0 for 1 from the field. Like when Cooper Flagg is having a day where he's going to shoot 7 for 20, I would like for the other high pedigree players to have better days than they had, especially against George Mason. Right? If you're playing an elite team and you got a number one defender on you and they're kind of daring Cooper Flagg to beat him, all right, fine. George Mason isn't that. They're not awful, but they're not that. John Shire, after the game, talked about George Mason being a good test.
These guys, if you see them on paper, they're an ACC team. In terms of their ranking on, if you look on KenPom, if you look at anything they've done, and then you see the eye test, right. And physically, they look like an ACC team, And so we had a ton of respect for them coming into this, and. The score may look like there's a big margin. It didn't feel easy to me. Right. It felt every possession in this game was a fight, and it was hard to gain separation, which we finally did in the second half there. But I think it's a credit to our defense. It's a credit to the competitive spirit of our guys.
Their defense is always good, and that's something they can lean on. That's something that I'm okay with them leaning on because it appears to be stable. I want them to have a little bit better plan if Flagg has an off day, because I think he will. Not a ton of them, but you just don't want it to be poorly timed. I talked about the second round for Carmelo Anthony on Syracuse's run, where he's the centerpiece as a true freshman. Second round of the tournament, he had an off day. 3 other guys stepped up, one off the bench, Jerry McNamara, Hakeem Warwick, and Syracuse gets the win anyway. Third round, NCAA tournament, Carmelo's back to being him. They go all the way through and get the title. I do want to also point this out. When I say no one else was in an offensive rhythm, that's excluding Isaiah Evans. Isaiah Evans off the bench, he went 3 for 6 from 3, 3 for 6 overall for 9 points. 0 for 2 in the first half from deep, but had a 5-minute stretch in the second half where he went 3 for 3. It's not, I'm getting ahead of this. I'm not comparing him as a shooter to Steph Curry at all. That is unfair to just about anybody. But there is a feeling when, like, Steph Curry hits 2 in a row where you want to text your friends and be like, are you watching the Warriors? Because we might be seeing something. There is the diet, caffeine, sugar-free version of that with Isaiah Evans, where when he hits the first, you're like, all right, well, I'm not changing the channel here. I was going to flip him back and forth between games, but I got to see if he's on one because he's done it a few times where it's like he hits one and then all of a sudden – it's 5 minutes later and he's got 3 or 4 threes. That is something that, I keep saying they need to play him more. And eventually it's just going to – the numbers are going to force John Shire to play him more. So Isaiah Evans is the one. Even though he doesn't play as much, he's playing a little bit more, doesn't play as much as some other guys. He is somebody that I think you can lean on when Flagg has an off day. Maybe that's his role. We have Flagg talking about Isaiah Evans after the game right here.
He just opens up the floor so well with his ability to just come off screen, set his feet, and knock down shots. So he's such a skilled player in that way. He can do so much. He can really drive it, shoot it, and his defense has come along really well this year for us. So for him just to be able to come in and be confident, knock down shots is huge.
It is huge, and it was huge last night, even though they could have beat George Mason with probably their C- game. But the win is the win, and the concern is the concern, and Isaiah Evans is a flamethrower. His words, not mine.
Their final test going into ACC play.
That was their final test.
Yeah, so that was. That was their final test going into ACC play. They got Georgia Tech, if I remember correctly, is their next game.
They usually
play Carolina close.
I was going to say, they usually have a nice little break before ACC play. You start to see how teams like to schedule. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a short show, so we'll be wrapping up soon. But first, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down, folks. Pay it all off in days, thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Especially you homeowners out there, listen up. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's all-new Rapid Equity Loan uses AI-driven technology to get you approved for cash out in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash to consolidate all your debt and get a fresh start for the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Imagine this time next week, you could be credit card debt-free. Don't wait. Get your cash fast. Call 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close here a little bit early today, but we're making way for bowl games. It is JMU and UNLV in the Boca Raton, and Western Kentucky in the Boca Raton Bowl. Cal against UNLV in the LA Bowl presented by Gronk to follow. All that coverage right here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back tomorrow for a full show on a Thursday. Until then, subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. And have a great evening, everybody. Enjoy the bowl games. We'll see you tomorrow.
Move your sports day forward.
There's no teeter-tottering on this one. Bryce Young is an NFL quarterback. You don't need that proven to you any bit more. The conversation should no longer be about Bryce Young, I'm sorry to say. For those of you who want to harp on Bryce Young, search out the words Bryce Young and is he bad? Is he good? If you're looking for the clout has ended.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Fruitcake! You shouldn't have. Wow, a candle.
Spread joy, not junk, with the Autobell Car Wash Holiday Sale. Visit Autobell to buy one Super Poly Process Wash and get one 40% off.
John Heister is playing Santa with the Wrap Up the Year sales event at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Now is the time to wrap up a big, beautiful present for yourself for 20% off. Ho, ho, ho! Put yourself in the driver's seat of any new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn